Hey guys, remember that time I said I was gonna update regularly? Well, I'm getting better, at least. I waited 2 weeks as opposed to the month I did before. So, let's begin, shall we? This is Wednesday. I am Bobby, and you're watching Words Without Thought. Alright, this is also probably gonna go unedited. Sorry about that. This week's topic is formatting and how we format our before we write. I also missed last week, which was length, so if I do not have enough to talk about with formatting, I will also touch briefly on length. So, um, I am not very experienced with writing longer works. I've never done NaMoWriMo before. I'm thinking about doing it this year, but I have a lot on my plate. But I might do it anyway. You know, you can't really call yourself a writer if you don't write. And I don't do much writing outside of what I need to for my creative writing classes. So I might do NaMoWriMo. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. I've never written anything longer than a short story before. Um, so I've never really had the need to outline. The most extensive outlining I do is before I write a short story, I'll write like ideas for scenes and then like maybe move them around before I actually like flesh them out and write all the details and actions. Or maybe I'll write character notes beforehand, but even that's rare and sparse. Um, so that's all I do for outlining. I know that for longer works, especially uh, programs like Scrivener or Our uses the notepads, the sticky notes, and that seems to be very useful. Just in general, in my life, I use a sticky note app on my Windows computer, and I can just put sticky notes all over my desktop, and that's usually helpful for organization. Since this is only 2 minutes, I will touch briefly on length. Again, like I said, I usually write short stories around 10 pages double spaced, size 12 font. I'm not really sure how many words that is, 5,000? Maybe? I would open, let me see if I can open a recent, this isn't, you know, very, alright. It's, yeah, 3,000 to 5,000 words I usually write, shorter, sometimes even, depends on the depends on the mood, I guess. Length is pretty important. I tend to write, the short stories I tend to write tend to be, one of the critiques I usually get is that they're too packed. I try to put too much, and so they would actually probably be more fitting for a longer work. Like I remember last year I wrote a story about a guy who wished he and his girlfriend were immortal, and the girlfriend got mad at him for something, and then they broke up, and then it was basically a short story about them meeting up over the course of like their eternal lives together, and basically is the history of the entirety of the universe. So you can see how that's hard to fit in 10 pages, and a lot of people felt like it was too rushed, and so that probably should have been longer. But a lot of times people make things, they'll write a short story, even something that's even just like 8 pages, and it can fit in 2. Or they write something in 4 pages that can fit on 1. And sometimes you really have to be economic with your word choice, and usually you can cut things down by a lot, but at the same time you could probably also expand. It's a fine line. I'm being very vague. It really depends piece to piece, but length is important. I've talked a lot about things that aren't very helpful at all, actually. I seem to always chime in on weeks that I'm not very strong at. For NaMoWriMo, I will, if I do it, I probably will. I have like 4 days to decide. I guess you'll have to find out next week if I'm doing NaMoWriMo. But if I do, I will let you guys know week by week how I'm doing, and how I'm formatting, because I probably will need to outline beforehand, whether it is with sticky notes or a Word document, or even just, I don't know, random pieces of paper around my room that don't really make sense, because I tend to do that a lot. I guess I'll see you guys next week. By the time this uploads, it probably won't be Wednesday, It'll be Wednesday somewhere, probably in the middle of the ocean, Hawaii. So, I'll see you next week. I'm sorry, this is really rambly. Bye.